and check out this very, very interesting, what appears to be like a plasma beam or something like that. Pretty cool, huh? And then it's this kind of rod here. I don't know what that is. But here's the interesting thing is I don't think plasma like this would occur where the sun was just shooting it out into space. I think to get to that kind of a signature, you'd have to have two bodies with some kind of an arc between them. That's just my opinion. I don't think the sun would shoot out a beam of plasma energy like that, guys. Think about it. Remember a couple days ago, guys, when we were talking about the sun energy drain or partial obfuscation or whatever you want to call it? Well, our physicist weighed in on that. And rather than me reading the paper to you, because I think it would be more exciting for people to actually read one of these papers themselves, I'm going to leave a link below where you can actually read the paper for yourself and check it out, okay? And basically the conclusion was on the 26th, what we saw was all kinds of things going on with where the sun was being obfuscated in different parts of the sun during a period of time during the day. And basically the physicist goes in and does all the calculations and everything to show that what we are likely looking at is some kind of a binary dwarf close to the sun. I'll let you go download that paper and give me your feedback after you have a chance to read it. But go ahead and check it out, download it, and let us know how you liked it. Here's kind of an interesting observation from a subscriber. We'll notice here that November 2016, we have like a very sliver moon phase right now, like a little teeny sliver moon phase. Now look at this interesting photograph from the webcams to Mexico, which is at the Popocatépetl, I can't pronounce it very well, the volcano there. And I just wanted to zoom in on this picture of the moon. I'm pretty sure it is the moon, but it's just interesting how bright it is because, and that's what I think is the interesting thing. And the second thing that you're going to notice about it is that there's a lot of red around it. Both very interesting things. Now, that definitely could be the reflection of the of the moon off the ocean. And so I just think it's very interesting on how bright this is when it's just supposed to be a sliver moon right now. Could be from anywhere around the world, it seems like, except for very few choice places. In this case, it's from the UK. Okay? And the chemtrailing, which is always around the sun, is constantly happening. Okay? It's like this in Wisconsin. It's like this in Rhode Island. It's like this in California. And it typically is when there's something very, very visible, obviously, right? Because they're going to pump up the action. We think stuff's getting so close now that they're just frantically trying to stop it, and they have this false sun at a full blast. So after my next message, I'm going to actually do the second offer, which is going to be the paper that we had written by our physicist, and I'm also going to make this available to you via Google Drive that you can download on how this thing works, so that you guys can kind of catch up. Because I'm getting people that are saying that when we do catch a picture of a planet when this thing is failing or it's changing directions or we catch one of its shields or we catch one of the lenses out there or whatever of this false sun with the chemtrail effect, it's meant to cover up planets. So first of all, yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything when this thing is in full operation if it's operating properly. Number two, this thing is designed to obfuscate and to draw our attention away from what's going on behind it. So, for the meaty part baby. Of this video. So I'm going to also have this paper available for you to download in the comment section below so you can look at this yourself. But I think that now that a lot of things are coming together, we're learning why we can't take direct photographs, or astronomers cannot look directly at the system, because there is a concerted effort to cover it up with a sun simulator device combined with chemtrails and other optic type devices to try to keep it from our eyes. Okay, and if you remember last week, last couple weeks, we've been talking to Scott at the Nibiru channel, who had gotten this actual picture of the sun simulator, an obfuscator, if you will, a Fresnel lens, or however you pronounce that. And this is the Fresnel lens here again. And then we were actually able to go in and to look at how they would actually spin this thing spin the Fresnel lens and then create this artificial light source, thereby obfuscating everything behind it. Okay, we also think that explains that weird thing that's on the Secchi thing, that this is part of the device, that they're actually collecting this energy somehow. And we got some other thoughts on here too. But look at the paper, download the paper. Now check this out. I went back to the last successful balloon flight that we had on June 11th, 2016, guys. And I pulled up some of the segments of that. And let me show you this. Of course, it's not going to let me do it. There we go. So, knowing now from what Jeff has told us, we did defeat the light refraction system by getting above the atmosphere because we took out one major component, the chemtrails. Now, that didn't allow us to defeat the other optics devices. For example, the first thing you'll notice is in a lot of these images with the satellite, you get multiple orbs or multiple pictures of the same thing. Well, we explain that because there's a spinning Fresnel lens in front of all these objects that's causing us not to be able to see them. But number two, here is now, because of this knowledge, this new knowledge that we've discovered, I'm actually able to say, here's the Fresnel lens, and I'll show this to you by just playing a little bit of it for you. I just froze it on one moment of it, of the flight in June, and I think we were at about 90,000 feet here. But this is actually when I'm in the focal point, this is what we saw, these two objects. Remember how Jeff talks about they're pointing the focal point away from us? Well, it turns out that when you go to 90 to 100,000 feet with the balloon, which I did not know, and now I have to go back and look at this stuff, that we can actually see what they were trying to hide behind this light bending, diffracting defense system. Anyway, blah. I'm just excited because I can't believe that I forgot about this image. So there's your Fresnel lens. Okay, let's zoom in right on it so you can see that it's actually projecting, or trying to take our focal point away from us so that we can't see what's behind it, right? And then notice what happens when we go sideways and it bounces off the side of the camera. See how it obliterates the light in that Fresnel pattern, right? So now that we're figuring this out, we can actually say that's one of the objects right there that they're hiding. As it splits up from the Fresnel effect, then we see some other stuff that might be familiar to some of you guys. Let's just check it out. And again, this light right here, that's the focal point. Look at what else it's covering up. Is that our sixth sun behind there? Or what is it? And then these other objects are the Fresnel lens just spinning and then making it look like there are multiple lens flares, when in fact there's really one or two objects, maybe three objects back there. There might be more, but right now I can definitely see the ones that are coming up on the focal point, and that's that big red one. Intense. So what I thought was, not the greatest balloon flight results turn out to be awesome results. We can actually see what they're trying to take our focal point away from. So with that in mind, we're going to break down these satellite photos more for y'all, and on our satellite balloon photos again. And I think this re-energizes my desire to do balloon flights now that we know how this because there's really, I can't do it as well as everybody together can do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the 3 segments of the balloon flight, and I'm going to convert it into an MP4, and I'm going to upload it at 1080p for you guys. And it's I'll have it all labeled for you and everything like that, but it's 1832 to 1907 to 1924. So basically you'll be able to go in and look at the Fresnel lens, you'll be able to look at the focal point, how it moves around, just like we talked about. And make sure that before anybody looks at this second one, the one that we're looking at here,